All right, what's up, YouTube? All right, so I'm on the east side of St. Paul, over off of Magnolia, and it's like a mixture of white people, but it's more black and Mexican, right? And other, there's probably some Africans around there, and then there's other type of Hispanic people like El Salvadorians and like Hondurans and stuff like that. I don't much know the difference, honestly, you guys, at the time. But I knew the Hondurans were Honduran. I don't know what it was, if they kind of rep their shit, or I don't know what it was. But they all kind of seemed like they migrated from California, but were never going back to them areas. Like, it seemed like maybe, not everybody was like fully Americanized. They ain't all speak the best English, things of that nature, right? And I'm going to tell y'all the most fucked up thing happened one day. So, this is totally off the story, but I guess this is weird. So there's this Mexican dude, right? And I could never communicate with him, right? Because I'd always have to go get a translator. So I go get like a little kid or something. I'd be like, hey, go over and talk to this motherfucker, man. So after interacting with this dude maybe 5 to 10 times like this, right? One day, we're in the hallway, and we start snorting coke. And I don't really get down with people like this, you guys. I don't start doing that shit, like smoking weed and drinking. Nah, I don't get down like that, okay? It's just not a social drug. And as far as I'm concerned, right? Some people think it is, whatever. So we get to snorting coke. I think it was his, right? He's got some bags he's supposed to sell. He's just tearing them open, just fucking up, right? Just fucking up. We're just snorting his shit up, man. Like, right? So we're getting all fucked up in the hallway. This motherfucker starts speaking English. All of a sudden, this motherfucker gets all coked up and starts fucking understanding English, man. Tell me, you guys, if you know about this, or how this happens, or what the fuck, man, or if he was just playing games the whole time. But I swear he couldn't communicate when he was sober, man. It was fucking weird, man. So anyway, I interacted with these dudes, but on like a very small time level, like nothing major. I really don't know what they had going on, right? Didn't need to know. Now, they all kind of lived like in one building on the other side of the street. Or maybe like a couple of buildings, right? That was about maybe 15 of them. From old to young, right? Now I'm talking like, when I say old, I'm talking like 50 or 60, right? Now at the time, I don't really identify them as a gang, but now that I know more, they were a gang, but they weren't really trying to like let it be known. If it seemed like they were like damn near like hiding out or on the run or something, or really they just seemed like they were on some working type shit. Like they wasn't really trying to be in the streets, if that makes sense, right? But they were like, some of them were tatted up and shit like that. They weren't super hardcore, but they stuck together. But then again, I don't fucking know. Maybe then, what is hardcore, right? So I'm like, man, we don't have no problems. We all live in the same neighborhood. And all of a sudden, one day, my boy Jay from down the hall comes knocking on the door. He's like, and Jay sometimes brought problems to my door and shit that I didn't want nothing to do with, but he is my boy. So Jay's like, crazy, man. The Mexicans out there tripping, man. I'm like, what? Like, what? Come on, dog. Like, man, I'm chilling, dog. Like, come on, man. So I'm like, okay, whatever, dog. So I come outside, right? And I'm not really going to get involved in this scenario, but I come outside, and two Mexicans that were about maybe 5'3" to 5'5", anywhere in between there, maybe $120, 30, 40, maybe at the most, are chasing everybody around with tennis rackets. The whole neighborhood. All the blacks and all the whites, right? Are getting chased around by only two Mexicans. And they ain't even that big, and they're running shit with them two fucking tennis rackets. With them two tennis rackets, they're running shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just watching it happen. All of a sudden, he runs up on my homie's mom, my homie Jay's mom, and she's like 50, 60. Real good woman. Cocks back the tennis racket on Jay's mom. I'm like, oh, now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now you fucked up. So now I come down off the steps, and they're like, right when I call them out, they're done. They just stop everything, but they still got their tennis racket, and they start walking away like they just literally got done playing a game of tennis, not hitting niggas with tennis rackets, right? And then cocking back on my homie's mom, though. I'm like, oh shit, here we go, right? Now what started it was one of the kids in the neighborhood that I despise, that I think stole my bike, little motherfucker. Like one of them little tomboy little dudes and shit, man. I think they called her Little Joe or something like that. Something like that, man. So Little Joe was in the neighborhood like a little runaway or something, just being a pest, right? Little Joe was in the neighborhood. I think I thought it was a dude for a while, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, this is like way back, so it wasn't really a common thing, right? So Little Joe in the neighborhood shouldn't be, steps on the back of the Mexican shoe that I was getting coked up with, that started speaking English, right? He wasn't a boss or nothing like that at all. He just wasn't nobody, right? So she steps on the back of the Mexican shoe. He turns around and punches Little Joe in the face. Bow. Bow. Punches Little Joe in the face. Little Joe doesn't do shit, obviously, right? And see, that's what kind of kills me, is when motherfuckers take on that character, when women take on that character and then get into some scenario like that and then can't handle themselves, though. You know? And it's like, you gotta think twice. You know what I'm saying? You know? And it's like, I don't know. So Little Joe steps on the Mexican shoe. Mexican turns around, punches Little Joe in the face. Little Joe's brother is like Karate Kid, like the black Karate Kid, right? I forgot what his goddamn name was, man. See, if I was a liar, I'd just tell y'all, I'd just make some shit up. What was his name, man? We'll just call him Karate Kid, man. But his name wasn't Karate Kid, right? We'll call him Karate Joe. So it's Little Joe and Karate Joe in there, and that's his little sister, right? And she dresses like a boy or whatever and tries to play that role, right? Stole my fucking bike, man. Stole my fucking bike, man. It's a whole nother story. Fuck. It's a whole nother story. So Little Joe, I don't know at this time. I don't have no reason to really have nothing against. I don't give a fuck what happened between them two, though. That's the bottom line. I don't give a fuck what happened between them two. I'm not trying to get in it, right? So, I'm not trying to get in it. So, but when he cocked that tennis racket back, that just changed everything. But what happened is, so Karate Joe came and whooped the Mexican. Put hands on him, picked him up, slammed him on the ground like he was like he just didn't weigh nothing. Fucked him up, right? So Karate Joe comes, demonstrates, whoops the Mexican. Might have whooped another motherfucker, but I can't say that for sure. But so he comes, he whoops on the Mexican hard though, right? He whoops the Mexican hard. He whoops the Mexican hard. That's part one.